Now I've decided to do a second part to the installation and the use of the Kogan vertical air conditioning unit. Basically I've had quite a few questions asked about this unit, so I'd like to just cover that and explain a few more details about the unit. Yeah, the unit's 45 centimeters wide in that frame. Now if you had a window that's 43, if it's a boxed window, so it's a frame here, frame the top, and then the frame down the side and the bottom, I doubt it's going to fit. The only way you might be able to do it is if you could put up like a bracket system so they could sit at the top and the bottom and go sort of mount up against this part but not inside it. Now if you've got a window frame with the windows only 43, 44 centimeters wide here, but you do have another 43, 40 centimeters sort of on that side, if you can imagine, basically then what would happen is the unit would sit up against, hang on, we'll just open this up. So you can actually move this unit all the way across here and it would sit up in against there. So it might actually cover that bit if this is only say 43 centimeters from here to say maybe there. But what you probably have to do is actually then take out the sliding bit of the window so that you can still sit in the track here and still sit in the track at the bottom, but it would sort of sit here and cover part of the frame. But you can actually get it to work. You just would have to move the sliding part of the window out. During the day I can leave this open and not have the unit running. That way I can leave the room ventilated, and when I'm actually running it I just have to push it in. I can push it right in behind there as well, so now the rubber's nice and snug up against there and no water gets in. As you can see, it's been in here for some time. There's no water damage whatsoever along here. Now somebody asked me as well, they had a couple of brackets, what do they do? I'm not entirely sure. I think what they're supposed to do is to maybe, I'm not sure, maybe sit in here somewhere like that so that you can then screw that goes in behind there maybe. I'm not sure, looking behind those so that it's not, those screws aren't going into that, but then you still have to screw them in, you know, either side there. So I haven't used those and I can't see why you'd want to use those. This other unit has come with the unit as well. I have no idea what this is for. The only thing I can think where it might be used is it can sit over the top of that, and then it's got like a ratchet system, so this will close and tighten and that would stop it from opening up. But once again, I don't see any point in that because it's actually got like a spring-loaded latch on this and then a screw that goes into that, and that stops it, you know, completely from opening up. Now one other thing I've had to do with this as well, you'll see a bit of white petitioning down there because basically when I close my blind, I can get the right cord for it. And it's butted up against the unit there. And then I've got that gap down the bottom, so I've had to put that in to stop, you know, any major light coming through the unit there. But I'll go out the back now so we can have a quick look at it and just see what it looks like from outside, because there is a drain pipe to it as well. You don't have to feed it into the back, but I've got it fed in through a hose that goes out through the back. Okay, so I'm outside now and we're looking at the back of the Kogan vertical air conditioning unit. As you can see, the frame sits up inside this frame, so even if you've got like a crim safe or whatever, it will definitely fit in front of the screen there. And you can see here I've got the window frame itself, so this is the sliding part of the window, and I've got that butted in up in against the rubber flange that sits all the way down through here, and that stops any water coming inside into the house. Now down here you do have this little drain hole. Now that has a plug for it, so if you can't, like we've done, we've run a hose through the bottom here. We've cut out the screen and run the hose down so a little bit of water comes through. Now you could leave the plug in there and then you would have to do maintenance every so often to drain it. But yes, you could leave that plug in there and not worry about it. If you can get a little bit of a hose, you could probably even run it down inside the frame here, because what happens is when I do get water inside, it'll run down through the back here. And a lot of these window sills will have the drain plugs in them, so if water does get inside here, it just basically comes down through the frame and comes out this way. So I've never had any issues at all with the back of this being open during the day, and we've had lots of very heavy rain during the last 6 to 12 months, and not once has it ever leaked inside the house. It's always just fallen inside the frame here and come out through the vent holes here.